Unlock. No, you haven't. Here we are. Welcome. Welcome. What a marvellous taxi. Fantastic. Absolutely marvellous. Come on in. Come on round. Here we are. It's a glorious day in central London, this fantastic city of ours. And it's a great day for Reform UK to be launching our mayoral candidate for the mayoral elections in May 2024. London should be the greatest capital city on earth. So much potential. We love it so much. But tragically, it has suffered 7 years of catastrophic mismanagement by Sadiq Khan. And it's time now to ditch Khan. So much potential, but he has presided over an absolutely appalling reign. London's now the slowest major city in the world. Imagine that. The slowest city in the world because of his hopeless, useless, anti-car, anti-motorist policies. Crime in London is soaring. Almost 1 in 10 Londoners suffers a crime every single year. Ourselves, we have suffered a crime just this very morning. All of this, and let's remember, Sadiq Khan is the Police and Crime Commissioner for London. He has failed us all. And thirdly, housing, affordable housing. Young people, all of us, want to be able to rent or to buy. He's completely missed all of his affordable housing targets. And I'm the guy, as leader of Reform UK, I caught Sadiq Khan cheating a few years ago, deliberately double counting on his housing numbers to boost his numbers because he was failing so badly. So that's why we're having a year's run-up in order to get the right mayor elected with the right policies to get London moving again. It is absolutely vital. We've got to get London moving in terms of transport. We've got to get London moving in terms of housing. We've got to get London moving in terms of cutting crime. We've got to get businesses moving again. We've got to get people employed again. So much potential, so much opportunity. But tragically, under Sadiq Khan, so much woeful, catastrophic management. We can do better. And that's why I'm delighted, hopefully, if the traffic hasn't held him up, that our candidate will be appearing any second now in the finest form of transport, of course, that London offers, the good, wonderful London taxi. Here it is. Here is our London taxi, and it is beautifully adorned with Howard Cox for London. The picture of Howard Cox, here he is, getting out of the taxi. Welcome, Howard, welcome. Fantastic. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Howard Cox, the Reform UK mayoral candidate for London. He is the man to get London moving again. What a glorious way to arrive, Howard. Fantastic. In the taxi. Doesn't it look marvellous?
Well, I'm not so sure with my face on it, but I'm very proud of it.
But it does what it says on the tin. So, Howard, it's fantastic to make this launch today. And tell us, first of all, what is, here we are, I've got the microphone so that we can hear you. Tell us, Howard, firstly, just a little bit about yourself and why you feel so passionately about getting London moving again.
Well, for 13 years I've been fighting on behalf of the motorist, the trucker, the small trader, the sole trader, the plumber, the electrician, etc., to keeping tax low. And since 2010 we've managed to, in my campaign of Fair Fuel UK, to get fuel duty frozen. It's the longest ever tax that's been, in terms of being frozen, in the history of this government. To cut a long story short, I've been bombarded with support from people. Something like 1.7 million people have signed up to Fair Fuel UK over the last 13 years, and something like about 17,000 in the last 3 months have asked me, please, could I take on this horrible wrecking ball of a mayor in London and actually do something about LTNs, 20-mile-an-hour limits, and of course ULEZ.
And I was just saying, I mean, this statistic, that London is now the slowest large city in the world, just come out in the last few months. I mean, what an embarrassing, humiliating failure under Khan's leadership.
Well, it's totally man-made. He's caused this problem. He's strangled our city. He's strangled our economics. He's caused so much congestion. Only recently, I've actually produced a report, an independent report from the CEBR, the Centre of Economic and Business Research, who said that ULEZ, for example, the whole of ULEZ is costing something like £800 million a year to our GDP. Now, that cannot be right.
It's a disaster for London. And if you've got questions that you want to ask us, you want to ask Howard as our candidate, then on live stream you can put them under the comment section and we're going to get back to them at around 1 o'clock. So do put forward your questions. We'll try and answer as many of them as we can. So let's just look, Howard, at the key priorities, the key policies that you're going to be campaigning on, Reform UK is going to be campaigning on for the next 12 months. The election is on the 2nd of May 2024, so we've got 12 good solid months to go for it. What are the key things that we're going to be campaigning on?
Well, we're going to be the only party, and I'm going to be the only candidate who's going to call for the complete scrapping of ULEZ.
The whole of ULEZ?
The whole of it. It's not just the extension, the whole of ULEZ to scrap it.
That's an absolutely key thing. The only party, the only candidate that wants to scrap the whole of ULEZ that has been so catastrophic to our economy and to our movement.
And on top of that, the low traffic neighbourhoods, which all that's doing is making people who live in them very happy, but pushing the congestion and all the problems to surrounding areas. It doesn't work. And the little matter of the 20-mile-an-hour zones, which do not make any difference to in terms of road fatalities. There's no difference whatsoever to do with in terms of safety. They're the three biggies in terms of actually the road usage.
In terms of getting London moving, and that's so critical because the low traffic neighbourhoods, actually, they have caused huge damage to local businesses, trading businesses. Many shops have just literally had to shut up shop, lay people off, and that's been catastrophic for neighbourhoods, for local communities.
Well, you're absolutely right. My inbox in terms of Fairfield UK is absolutely swollen with people saying, I can't run my business anymore. It can't be right. This is ridiculous. And it's not been done with any consultation. And even if a consultation goes in place and people disagree with it, it seems to be overridden by these, what I call career-driven politicos.
Absolutely right. And of course, it was the Tories that gave money to the local authorities at the beginning of COVID, no consultation, and it's not what communities want.
And that was a temporary measure. It wasn't supposed to be permanent.
There's nothing temporary about some of these low traffic neighbourhoods unless we get you elected and then we can turn this around. So vital. It's just not right that businesses should have the lifeblood of local communities taken away from them. So, and then the other thing about the low traffic neighbourhoods, of course, if you've got slower traffic, you've got more emissions on the main roads, and that's actually causing more pollution, completely the opposite of what Sadiq Khan says he wants to achieve from them.
Well, absolutely, and don't forget, one of the things he actually did, his Transport for London report, actually came out only recently saying when he wanted to know how wonderful this ULEZ expansion would be good to our breathing clean air. Well, let me tell you now, quite categorically, Transport for London, his own people told him it would make no demonstrable difference to the air we breathe, the air quality at all.
This is how devious that Sadiq Khan is. His own report, produced by Transport for London no less, that he's the boss of, they said the difference would be negligible. Zero. Null. And yet, he carried on. He's absolutely obsessed. He ignores the evidence. He ignores the wishes of Londoners. Utterly, utterly shocking. And the 20 mile an hour, again, no evidence whatsoever that makes any difference.
And I repeat, it's not democratic. I keep repeating this point. He has not asked the main stakeholders involved. There's people that use the roads. They're using pothole-ridden roads. The local authorities are actually ruining in terms of those. They're not spending the money wisely. They seem to be spending it on woke ideas and woke beliefs, total idealism rather than reality. We're in a cost of living crisis and that doesn't seem to matter to them.
I'm here now with not with Sadiq Khan, I'm here with Howard Cox. I mean, I'd like to have a word with Sadiq Khan, but he always ignores our invitations. But I'm here with Howard. If you've got questions, then do put them on the comments page. We'll get back to them on the live stream at around 1 o'clock, because we want to hear from you, hear what your thoughts are. What are your concerns? One of the other concerns, of course, Howard, apart from getting London moving, is we've actually got to cut crime. We've got to get the police moving, Get them doing the job that actually people want them to do.
Well, we want to get them from behind the desks and out on the streets. We want visible policing, and I believe we can triple the number of bobbies on the beat. That you imagine how no one would deny that should be a prime objective, and that's what I'll be putting forward in our manifesto.
And we can do that. Unbelievably, the number of bobbies on the beat at the moment, I mean, it's less than 5%.
Yes.
Less than 5%. So, we can easily treble the number of bobbies on the beat, but it requires leadership, it requires absolute determination and drive. It's a simple slogan, but it actually means a lot. We've got to police the streets and not the tweets from behind a desk.
Absolutely right. And all the police I talk to want to go out and prevent crime. They don't want to fill in these bloody forms. We can use technology, we can use artificial intelligence, all the things to help them make their job easier. I'm all for that. But they've got to be visible, especially for young women, women walking home, going on the last train at night. They want to know they're safe.
And that's right. And women in London do not feel safe on the streets because of the failures of Sadiq Khan. Absolutely shocking. And it's so, everybody has the right to feel safe on the streets of London. But under this mayor, Sadiq Khan, we do not. And in particular, women do not. And then let's talk about housing, because obviously there's an affordable housing crisis everywhere, but particularly in London.
Well, I have a very personal interest. I have a daughter who's in her early 30s, and she's got a good job. She actually drives a 40-ton truck. But she's been looking for a house to be in for ages and ages in London and can't do it. She's looked at all ways of doing it, and every way she turns, there's obstacles put in front of her. She can afford to actually do something. Maybe 100% mortgages we're talking about now is good news. But if we allow better social housing being built right across brownfield sites, get planning easier, all those sorts of things, I think we can triple the number of properties.
We can definitely treble the affordable housing, no question at all. But you've got to know how to do it. You've got to know how to work with developers. You've got to make the planning system work. And remember, I'm the guy that caught Sadiq Khan cheating, lying, double counting the affordable housing starts just a few years ago because he knew he was failing his targets. We can do this. We can treble the number of affordable houses. We've got to work with developers. We've got to have a planning system that works so that we can build on brownfield sites, because Londoners want affordable housing. It's a great opportunity, Howard, but in summary, we've got to get London moving.
Absolutely right, and I'm afraid that we're the only party that can do this. You approached me to come and join you, and I was delighted to accept, simply because you've been a good supporter of Fair for UK and drivers right across the country. You want to actually scrap the 2030 ban on diesel petrol cars. You want to cut fuel duty by 20p, and fundamentally, I'm right with you on that one. No other party is. I'm very saddened. I've been a voter of the Tory party for nearly 50 years, but I believe the Tory party has left me now, and we need to actually have some common sense policies that really will work.
Well, this is the reality, and it's so important because actually the truth is so many traditional Conservative voters, they feel that party has left them. Traditional Tory London voters actually support Reform UK's policies to get London moving. And the truth is, actually, see, back in 2019, we did the right thing for the country. We did the right thing for the country by standing aside in some seats then. Now, it's the time of the Tory party to do the right thing for London, because the only way to get Sadiq Khan out, to ditch Khan, actually is the Tories. They must not stand a candidate, because then all of the anti-Khan vote will coalesce behind Howard. If they stand the candidate, the risk is that it's the Tories that split the vote, and that would be irresponsible, it would be negligent, because it would let Sadiq Khan in by the back door. So don't let the Tories split the vote. Focus on this man, Howard Cox. It's wonderful you're standing, Howard. It's not an easy thing to do, putting your head above the parapet, but you've been a fantastic campaigner. You've achieved so much with Fair Fuel UK over the last 10 years plus. I mean, remarkable achievements.
Yes, I'm very proud of what we've done, and I've not made a penny out of it, by the way, before people accuse me of being backed by fossil fuel companies. I'm not.
It's Sadiq Khan that says that, isn't it?
Exactly.
And then he's not very good at telling the truth, as we've proven on multiple occasions.
But I'm going to spend the next 12 months campaign to rally behind all the anti-Khan groups to come and rally behind me. If together we can make a difference, and that includes you, the Conservatives.
It's such a great opportunity, and it's fantastic. If you've got any questions for Howard, for myself, do put them in the comments. We'll get to as many of them on the live stream. We'll be back at 1 o'clock. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. It's a great day here in London. The weather's glorious. It's a great day because now London has the best, fantastic, superb mayoral candidate with the right policies to get London moving. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, Howard. We'll have a good lamppost. Good.